Hello everyone, and welcome to another video. My track guide for the GR86 going around Oulton Park with no chicanes. Let's get into it. When qualifying, we are starting out on the left side of the track, and my braking marker is the banner with the yellow text here on the left. Once I get to that, I start to brake, and I aim for about 70% brake pressure, and then I'm easing off to just about mid-track. After that, I let the car roll into the corner. Just before we get to the inside curb, we want to start to accelerate. We're going to cut the inside curb, just make sure you don't cut too much. If you go up to the grass, you will spin the car. And you can use all of the room you need out here. Just make sure to have one set of wheels within the white line. Turn 2 is going to keep that out. Just make sure you get over to the right side of the track for turn 3. The track is going to take a little dip. Once we take that dip, we want to start to brake. Here I aim for about 70% brake pressure, and we're pretty much trailing that off until we get to the inside curb. There's a little spot where we don't have any anti-cuts. Just about a car length before that is where we want to apex, and also where we want to pick up the throttle again. Then we want to let the car walk out to the outside curb using all of the outside curb. If we touch the grass, that will spin the car. If you get a bad exit out of turn 3, turn 4 is probably a place where people will try and overtake you. But in the race, stay on the right side of the track. We don't have to brake for turn 4, all we do is lift off once we get to the curb here. And we lift off to about 50% throttle. I aim for the end of the inside curb as my apex point. And we do that because we want to be as left as possible for turn 5. In the race, watch out for dive bombs, but for qualifying, be as left as possible. I brake once I get to the end of the tire wall here on the left. I aim for about 80% brake pressure, and we are trailing that off all the way to the top of the corner. The corner is banking, so we can carry more speed than we think. Make sure you stay close to the inside curb, all the way till where we pick up the throttle again. At the top of the corner is also where we pick up the throttle, easing it in just a little bit to make sure we don't go over the outside curb. And of course use that curb as well to carry as much speed as possible out of the corner. Now it's a drag race all the way down to turn 7. Draft is surely going to be a part in the race. Turn 7 is not a great place to try and go too wide because it's a very narrow corner and you will lose quite a lot of time. So if you want to overtake here, make sure you're fully past the car so you can get out to the left side of the track for turn 7. My braking marker is the first curb here on the left. Once I get to that, I start to brake and I aim for 80% brake pressure, and I'm trailing that off all the way to the inside grass. Once we're past the inside grass, we want to pick up the throttle again. There's a little bump in the road in there, and it will make the car a little bit unstable. If you cut the grass too aggressively, the car will go up to 2 wheels and then we'll be off the track. If we get a bad exit out of turn 7, people will try and overtake you into turn 10, and that's because 8 and 9 is flat out. But in qualifying, be all the way on the left side of the track for turn 10. I don't have a good clear braking marker for you, but I'll try and use the board here over on the right, braking a couple of car lengths before it. I aim for about 60% brake pressure, trailing that off until the end of the first curb. At the end of the curb, you also want to pick up the throttle again. Do not hit the curb, it will unsettle the car. Don't go too wide because we need to hit the second curb as well, and we should be doing this flat out. Of course, use the exit curb to carry as much speed as possible. Turn 11 is a place where people will try and overtake you in the race, and in qualifying, be on the left side of the track. There is a little dip in the road, and we want to brake just before that dip. I'm aiming for about 90% brake pressure, and I'm trailing it off all the way to the emergency road on the inside. Once we get to the emergency road as well, we want to pick up the throttle again. We can go a little bit on the curb, but it is raised and will unsettle the car a little bit. Taking too much will make it go sideways. Use the exit curb to carry as much speed as you can, and then we just want to shorten the distance as much as possible all the way up to the start-finish line. And that's my lap around Oulton Park International without chicanes in the Toyota GR86 of a time of 1 minute 41.5. I have more track guides for the GR86 linked down below. Hopefully you found this one useful. If you did, leave a like down below, consider subscribing as well, and now for the uninterrupted hot laps.